Some people think, but the only way to earn more is by working more hours. But what if there's a side hustle that can earn more money without leaving your 9 to 5? That's exactly what the ATM business can do. And once I discovered it, everything changed. This is why it's the perfect gig for anybody in a full-time job. All right, about 25 years ago, I was in a corporate setting and we were working basically 3 shifts. I worked for a direct mail house. We were working 3 shifts. Sometimes we worked 3rd shift, sometimes we worked 2nd shift, sometimes we worked 1st shift. I started out as a salesperson for this direct mail house, but as the business grew and grew and grew, they needed not only salespeople, but they needed somebody to help work the inserters, printers. And so I found myself selling a lot less and working a lot more in the production of the corporation. Now, it was very exciting. I liked doing it. I had a lot of fun. And when we sold, I had a lot of fun doing that. So what happened is now springtime came. There was a local golf league. A friend of mine says, hey, why don't you play in the golf league? We worked at the job most of the time, except for those crazy times. We worked from 8 to 5. Golf league started at 4:30. I wanted to get off a little early, maybe about 15 minutes early, maybe half an hour early, so I could leave and go to golf league. Talked to the owner and I said, look, on Thursdays, I'd like to leave a little early. I can come in an hour early so I can make my time up, or I can work a little later during the week. Can I play in this golf league? And here's what the owner said. We worked 8 to 5. I'm like, yeah, we work 8 to 5, except for the last couple of months, I was working 7 in the morning to 7 at night. I worked from 11 at night to 7 in the morning. We work at all crazy hours to help with the company. Now I'd like to play golf. And then the owner said, you know what? Again, we work 8 to 5. So I couldn't play in a golf league. So I didn't like the way that felt. And I remember that feeling. So when I decided to get into the ATM business, I decided, you know what? I used that as my motivation because I wanted to control my destiny. I want to control my time. I didn't have a family, but all I wanted to do was play a little golf. I couldn't do that because my boss dictated, hey, what time we work. So I thought, you know what? The next time I do something, I'm going to build myself something where now I can control my time. I can control my destiny. And I used that motivation on how that made me feel when they told me I couldn't do this. I hear stories from time to time where people say, hey, I want to go to my kid's dance recital or my kid's soccer game, and they can't leave because they have to work. I'm sure that doesn't feel good when you guys have to make those decisions. You should always use that motivation so you can change your lifestyle. So I had to figure out something, and the ATM business worked well because what I can do is I could place ATMs, and what I always say is I can make money while I was sleeping. So point number 1, whatever business you want to get into, always make sure that if you're not working on the business, you're still making money. I like the ATM business because we had residual income and I was making money while I slept. All I had to do is sell, which I was always good at, and then place the ATM, and then that ATM would make money while I was doing something else. I was still working that job, but now I had a side gig. I was making extra money day after day, hour after hour, month after month. While I was working that full-time job, I was still making money. And then when I wasn't working, I could go out and work on my extra business. Was it easy? No, it's not easy because you're working a full-time job and then you're doing something else. But it gives you the opportunity to tell that person, you know what? I don't like the way this is working out, and you can tell them goodbye. And now you have something to go into. Point number 2, to the passive income. What I liked about the ATM business is even people will say, oh, it's very saturated. You know what? It might be saturated, but it's not a competitive business, which means is, there's not always somebody trying to get you out of your spot. For the most part, the ATM business is a pretty great business because once you get an ATM in a location, you usually stay there for years and years and years. Sometimes 5 years, sometimes 10 years, sometimes 20 years. We have locations that I've been in there since the start. I was in the ATM business. So it's a nice business because it's a clean business. Once you usually get in an establishment, you stay in there, you can grow your business. And point number 3, what I liked about it is if I ever wanted to leave, and I see multiple people come in the ATM business and leave the ATM business, they left there anywhere between 2 and 4x. What does that mean, 2 to 4x? That means it's 1x is 1 times revenue. So whatever you make in a year, that's 1x. If you make whatever you make in 2 years, that's 2x. So between 2 and 4 years, you will be able to sell your ATM business if you ever decide to sell for that. But you have to do a couple things. You have to make sure you have locations agreements, and you have to make sure that your ATMs are up to the latest greatest. So if you're thinking about starting your own profitable ATM business, I want to invite you to our free checklist entitled ATM Business Passive Income Checklist, where you're going to make more money, spend more time with your family, and create residual income. If this is exciting to you, click the link down below and start your ATM journey today. Again, this is Phil from the ATM Mastermind Group page, where we buy your freedom back 1 transaction at a time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.